and then just kind of forget about Tormentor. Not a thing. Not a thing. Just don't worry about it. It should be. I'm not saying it shouldn't be. It should be a thing. Like, I'll ask occasionally. I'll be like, hey, can we do Tormentor? And if nobody responds, like, I don't get offended. Like, I think that's the thing. I think in the past, like, if I were to say, like, hey, let's push high ground, or hey, let's go do this, or hey, whatever, and then people didn't want to do it, I'd get butthurt. I'd be like, why aren't they doing the thing that I think's correct, you know? But now I'm like, I've come to realize that the Tormentor is so bad that, like, no one wants to do it, and I'm like, yeah, okay, that's fine. Just buy my own, right? Hey, welcome back, guys. This is weekly coaching number 7 with King Louie. Last week, the focus was on pushing out waves and grabbing empty lanes to farm and things like that, and also trying to predict what was going to happen next in the game by looking at where your teammates were moving and look at where the enemy was. So let's see what progress was made on that front over the last week. Okay, so Louie, what is the MMR now?
1,100.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, big win streak.
Yeah.
What do you attribute it to? That's a huge jump. That's like almost 300 MMR.
I think I just like played like the lane safe, and I just kept like I played more like, even though I was playing support, I like warded and kept my things, but I made sure I got more farm myself, if that makes sense.
Okay, okay. And were you doing that by doing what we're talking about and like picking up empty lanes and things? Okay.
Yeah. I kept, every time there was like a lane and there wasn't a team fight, I would like stay.
Yeah.
Or if there was a team fight, I wasn't sure it would like go like our way. I just stayed and like didn't like commit to it, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like, I'd make sure I push the lane, if that makes sense. Like,
yeah.
I'd just go,
okay,
like, take a tower or something.
That's awesome. Okay, great. So what was like the biggest difference you noticed like playing like this? Like, did you run into issues you weren't running into before when you were doing this?
So like a lot of the time, sometimes it's like that like a teammate will be like, oh, like they just get like angsty or whatever, like, you know what I mean? But it was just like, oh, like it's not really a problem, if that makes sense.
Okay.
It's just that they're like, obviously they're annoyed because like it's like, oh, like there was like I thought like Lou was gonna die.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, no, I'm not committing. Like it looks like you're gonna die.
Right.
And then obviously there wasn't probably too happy. There was like, oh, if you came, we would have won. I was like, I don't think so. Like, so.
Yeah, that's going to be the biggest thing you're going to run into. It's just like your idea of what's going to happen versus their idea. And one of you may be right or wrong, but it's like, it is really important to exercise it and to like start making judgments on things. Like, I think this, and then do it and see if it's right or wrong. And then what we can do now is like, because now you've got replays and stuff, we can go back and actually look at it in hindsight and be like, okay, so maybe this guy was right or maybe I was right. So do you have a game in particular where that happened?
It could be the Hoodwinked one, maybe.
Okay, look at that one. Okay, are there specific points in the game you can remember where this was coming up?
There was literally when I took the second tower, like when I took their tier 2.
Yeah.
Like on top lane, there was literally a fight happening bot lane. But I was like, nah, like I'm just gonna stay and take this tower. Like, it's 50-50.
Yeah.
Like I can secure this thing, if that makes sense.
I think this is what you're talking about, right? There's this sort of team fight going on down here.
Yeah, bottom.
Okay. So, okay. It's a bit hard to tell, because I would say... So on the one hand, if your team has kind of been down here for a while, then you might... This may be a case of you should have already been down bottom. But once you're already up here, I think it's correct to take the tower. So the main things we'd want to be looking at is like TP status, Roche status, you know, if Roshan is alive.
Yeah.
I think Roche down right now. I don't know, I can't even tell on the replay. I think Roche is down. But that would be another part of it. So if Roche was up, you'd want to be playing on that side of the map. So right now it's nighttime. If Roche is okay, Roche is up. Roche is up, that means your team should be playing top. So I would say you're in the correct area. But based on how telegraphed what they're doing bottom is, that might kind of give you an idea of whether you actually should have been here to begin with. So if we watch them bottom a little bit, have a look. They're kind of just farming. Mid. So the Quap has time to TP in and run over, but she's a little bit late. She's kind of forcing it a little bit. No, you know what? I think you're fine. This fight's going on for so long, and it's so like haphazard and not planned out. And this tier 2 tower is more important than this tier 1 tower, because that opens up the outposts. It also helps them to control the top half of the map a little bit, and it helps them control this jungle. And you're playing on the side of the map that has Roche. So this objective is just more important than this bottom one. And because they're not like getting wiped down bottom, I don't think it's like a problem that you're not here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm also gonna guess, like, do you remember if there was any communication on this? Because I'm guessing there wasn't any communication. The team fight just happened.
No, like Wraith King, like I think the Wraith King was saying the Wraith King was like on mic, and then I think Witch Doctor was pinged at the very start, but like Witch Doctor was like he was good, but he kept making like very shaky pings, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like he would like ping to like go on like a lot of things, but then he wouldn't come there for like a good 2-3 minutes after, if that makes sense, or like a good 2 minutes after. So it was just like, sure, but like
it's a bit
sure,
confusing.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So communication's not the best. You just have Wraith King talking and Witch Doctor doing random things. Okay, so this is random team fight then. I'd say don't worry about it. This is fine. What you're doing is fine. Because like, this is not like, if it's not planned out, you didn't know your team was going to do here, and it doesn't even really make sense for them to be doing this. Like, the initial kill is whatever. Like, they kind of, yeah, I see. If I were you right here, I'm respawning. Like, yeah, I would go top. I'd probably TP top, because I wouldn't be expecting anything to happen down here. Like, why would we go push this tier 1? That doesn't make much sense to me. We don't have vision in the area either. That's another thing that would indicate where I'd want to play. Your wards are kind of all on the top half of the map. Like, this ward is kind of what's going to allow you to play in this area. Really, your team should just be playing top. And that's up to you to communicate that as well. So if you have an idea for, hey, you know, Roche is up, we have wards top, this tower is more important than this tower, then you have to communicate all that stuff, right?
Okay.
Because otherwise they're not going to know. They're just going to be like, oh, well, we push the next tower, that's the tier 1, or whatever, random kill.
Yeah.
Trying to see where the hell that even, I think I went back too far. I think it's around here. So for your reference, pretty much they should start backing out now. Then they get caught. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, the fight's done now. Like, I would say, like, maybe Wraith King can get this kill, and now it should just be done. So the Quap's rotating in, but she's too late to it. But it's kind of like, this is a 2-for-1. That's already good. We don't have to do more here. We could, we don't have to. But we're next to an area where they can TP in, and we can't TP in here. So we have to TP super far. They TP in really close. So it's just kind of a dangerous area to be fighting. Like, this should just be a full disengage right now, and then Quap starts the fight again. So this is just random. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about this. This is just dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, killing Huskar and Axe is great, but this is just silly, basically. Because instead of doing all this, they could be doing what you're doing, which is like securing this rune, pushing up here, farming all these camps, grabbing this wisdom rune. Maybe your team could do the Tormentor. Maybe you guys could just be doing Roche right now, you know? This is just random, so I wouldn't worry about it. Were there any other instances of this you can remember?
I asked for like to do the I asked for them to do like the Tormentor like a lot, but they didn't want to do it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, same thing happened in my last game. No one ever wants to do it.
Like
That's not a low rank thing. No.
Oh, I reminded them like at 20 minutes,
Yeah.
and then I was like, oh, at like 25, and then and then I was literally just pinging like most like every now and then, like I even like wrote it a few times, like I was like, please, like come on, like can we just do the Tormentor, like.
Yeah.
And they were just like, nah. And then I think they did it like once, like ages ago, like.
Yeah, that's just gonna happen. So the reason why I wouldn't expect people to do the Tormentor. Just straight up, I wouldn't expect it because it's so far out of the way and it costs so many resources and the payoff is not even that good. So a shard is amazing, right? That's really great for one player and you don't even know who it's going to go on. So it's kind of just I think it's just a bad mechanic and I wouldn't be surprised if they eventually get rid of it.
Doesn't it normally go to like the lowest 2 net worth on your team?
Yeah,
like
but you don't know who that is. So that can be a problem. So like if you're like, oh my god, Witch Doctor Shard is so good, and then your team goes and does the Tormentor, it almost dies, and then it goes on you instead, and it's like, well shit. The whole reason we did this was to give it to Witch Doctor, and then it didn't even go on him, because we can't guarantee that. I think if this thing dropped a shard that you could pick up and use, people would do the Tormentor like twice as much as they do. But because it's random, no one wants to bother with it. Because it is a heavy investment. It's in the edge of the map. There's no other relevant objectives next to it, and it costs you a ton of health to do it. So usually the reason why people never do it is because you have to give up a ton of map control, because everyone's got to walk over here and do it, and then you have to run back out on the map and establish control. And it's just more valuable to be playing up in the enemy team's face than it is to go back and do this Tormentor. And so like it's to the point where I don't even plan on my team ever doing it. I just buy the shard. I don't even care. For 15 minutes, I just buy my own shard. And I play position 5 all the time, so that's a big investment for me. But like if I know my shard's good, I just buy it. I just say, fuck it, we're never ever going to do the Tormentor. It's just, maybe it'll happen one day, but I'm not banking on it. So what you have to know is when it would be a good time to do it. So for instance, if there was a fight here, this is a good time to do it. Because now, so you've repelled a push, and now there's 4 heroes in the same area of the map. So you're not really giving up anything. You're right next to it already. Now it's a good time to do it. Another time it can be good to do is if like Roche is down and your team just got wiped and you know the enemy team is not near your base. So then you respawn and you come over here and you do it. Because you don't have map control anyway. Like that's basically the main drawback of the Tormentor is you give up map control and it takes a lot of time. So if you're not giving that up, it's fine. Go ahead, sorry.
Because I was gonna think like I don't know if this is the right way to see it. Like the way I would see it, it's like 1400 gold, if that makes sense.
Yep.
It's like if you do it, you get like a 1400 like net swing.
Yeah.
And if you can like get theirs, maybe it's like good, like if that makes sense. But then it's like I think like if you just say like realistically, like I think it only takes like 1 core and like 2 supports, so just normally one like damage deal like dealer. So like either if like the Wraith King or the Luna came and like just 2 supports.
Yeah.
Like we would have killed it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, it's totally feasible for you guys to do it. I mean, like you guys even have a good team to do it because you have Wraith King and Witch Doctor, which both have sustain. So you have good heroes for doing it. That's what you want. You want tanky heroes or heroes that have heals to go do Tormentor. So it's like, yeah, and you're right. It is a 1400 gold swing, but maybe the shard it's giving you sucks. You don't know who it's going on, and you are sacrificing something by doing the Tormentor because you're like wherever you are on the map, you know, like say right now, the enemy team, like Lena's out here farming, Nature's Prophet's out here farming, this guy's farming here. Like as soon as this guy's farming out here, like you're farming the entire map on the enemy team right now. Pretty much. Everybody's got to drop what they're doing and run over here, and then you have to know which heroes are going to do it. And like basically the problem with the Tormentor is that it's a high investment that actually requires a decent amount of coordination to do it efficiently. So it's just like Roche is hard to get your team to get around, right? This is going to be even harder because the reward is not as obvious, and it's not even likely that the enemy team is going to steal it from you. Like Roche is a little bit easier to understand for people because it's like, well, if we don't do it, the enemy team's going to do it. But like if you don't do your Tormentor, it's not like people run over and instantly steal your Tormentor, right? There's no urgency to it.
Yeah.
So it just kind of sucks as an objective, basically. Long story short, it's just not an attractive objective to do, and that's why it's really hard to get people to do it. Now, if Tormentor was exactly the same and it was sitting in the middle of mid lane, people would do it all the time because they're not sacrificing anything to go do it because it's kind of right next to where they are anyway. It's like it's on the edge. It takes a lot of time, costs a lot of health, and the reward is not even a guaranteed or good reward. You know, you kill Roche, you get Aegis. That's good. You know what that does. You get Cheese. You know what that does. You get to pick who it goes on, right? But
yeah.
Long story short, Tormentor sucks. So I would just mentally give up on the idea of anyone ever grouping up to do it. To be quite honest, don't have it be part of your game plan. Keep it in mind as like a little thing of like, ooh, wouldn't it be cool if we could do this? You know, the same way of like stacking camps on the enemy side of the map is like sometimes really freaking cool because you know you have map control and you're going to get more farm out of it. But like, you're not going to like plan on that, you know? All right. Any other instances with the farming?
I did just go to like walk to lane like throughout the game. I just did just go to lanes like a lot, like more, if that makes sense.
Okay, that's good.
I try to just try to like play on the edge more a bit.
Sure. All right, I'm gonna watch it in fast motion and follow you, and just kind of keep track of your movements. Good, doing it there. Not right now. Sorry, Rudy. Yeah, this is good. Cool. But I also want to take a look at when you started roaming, because that was an issue previously. But let's look at this first. I want to get just an idea for how much you're moving around the map. Okay, TP to a tower, good. Waves, sweet. Getting mid. Yeah, these map movements are a lot better. I'm just staring at the mini map right now.
Oh, okay.
I'd be thinking about top next. Top would be nice to push, but Wraith can probably do that. Cool. Runes. Yeah, this is great. I like that you cleared the jungle and then made your way back to your team as well. So that's really good because you were here in time for this team fight.
Yeah.
So that's great. Okay, unfortunate. That's just a case of sticking around a little bit too long. That happens to me as well. Okay, so here's the one you were pointing out where you respawned and went there. Or maybe not. Or were there multiple random fights bottom? Yeah.
Yeah, like it started like early-ish and then like it just kept going.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
This would be a good time to do Tormentor, by the way. When you were over that.
Like I like to go to it.
Yeah, that would have been good. I like I can see you're kind of anticipating the lanes are going to push into you too, because you're moving to them before you actually need to, so it's good. Like before the wave's even there, you're like meeting it. That's good. Quack died to the Tormentor. Whoops. Yeah, you have 175 last hits. That's what it's saying here. So that's pretty good. All right. No, I like it. I think it's good. So then the main things would be to improve on there would just be like the couple times where like you died while you were doing it. You know, just look out for those. And then just kind of forget about Tormentor. Not a thing. Not a thing. Just don't worry about it. It should be. I'm not saying it shouldn't be. It should be a thing, but
it's like ask twice, and if not, just leave it and get it. Like
it's sort of what I do now is I say, like, I'll ask occasionally. I'll be like, hey, can we do Tormentor? And if nobody responds, like, I don't get offended. Like, I think that's the thing. I think in the past, like, if I were to say, like, hey, let's push high ground, or hey, let's go do this, or hey, whatever, and then people didn't want to do it, I'd get butthurt. I'd be like, why aren't they doing the thing that I think's correct, you know? But now I'm like, I've come to realize that the Tormentor is so bad that, like, no one wants to do it, and I'm like, yeah, okay, that's fine. I'll just buy my own, right? So I still ask my team to do it, but I think what I'm working on personally is like figuring out like when does it actually make sense to go for the Tormentor? And really the only time it makes sense to me is when you're already bottled up on that side of the map and you know the enemy team's not there. Okay. And you have good heroes for it. Then it's fine. It was really nice before, and it still kind of is to some extent, if you have a hero that can solo it. So like for instance, Razor was able to solo it by stripping all the armor off. And that was really good, because now it's like it's not a team thing anymore, it's just one person goes and grabs it.
Yeah.
But that's another thing too to look at is how good are the shards on your team? Like, are they super core to your build? Or, you know, are they kind of whatever? Are they side grades? Because the better the shards are, the more people are going to want to do it, and the easier it's going to be to get people to go do it.
To be fair, I thought like that was like a really good shard game. Like with Doctor Shard's like insanely good.
Doctor's good. Wraith Kings is a good shard, although if they don't have mana drain, then it doesn't really matter too much. Luna's is fine. I think that's the spinny blades. That one's supposed to be good. What's Quops? Quops is the bursting.
And
oh, is that one? Okay.
Yeah, so when she blinks on someone, she'll silence them, and she does like damage to them, like on the blink.
Yeah, that's a really good shard. I think that's super strong. So I think you're right. Like your shards are good. I mean, Boomerang kind of sucks on Hoodwink, right? But
yeah, but then I was thinking it sucks, but then it doesn't, because it's like it gives like everybody like more magic damage, if that makes sense.
That's true. Yeah, that's
like,
definitely true.
I was like, because I was like, if I hit them with it, like there's like we have like a lot of like
Bomber burst.
Yeah. And I was like, they can just do like a lot of damage.
Yeah, I mean it's not bad.
It's like 20% to all spell damages, so it's like
it's definitely strong, but it's also like a case of like that's a damage amp spell, like that's okay. It's like I'll give you an example, like Jakiro's shard usually sucks. Like it's nice for tower pushing, it's nice against tanky heroes, but other than that it kind of sucks, right? So I don't prioritize it really hard. Grimstroke's shard, absolutely core to the hero. It's actually the only reason why this hero was meta, because his shard is so goddamn good. So it lets you strong dispel when you detonate the Inkswell, and it also gives you a heal. It increases the damage, it heals them now where it didn't heal before, and it's a strong dispel. So it's adding healing and strong dispel to it, as well as obviously damage, right? So it's just super goddamn good, and it's core to the hero. Like if you're not going to buy the shard, you're like screwing up. You're not playing Grimstroke properly. in my opinion. I think Dazzles is really good because that's adding a whole new ability. Right now, you've got hard lockdown on a hero with none. With Hoodwinks, I'd say like it's okay, but it's like it's really just adding more damage, sort of, which you kind of already have that. It's not like adding a hex or another stun or a mobility spell. You know what I mean? It's not bringing something new to the kit. It's just big numbers, which that's fine too. But it's like if I'm a position 1, am I going to be like, yo, I definitely need to drop what I'm doing and go farm this thing so I can get Hoodwink or Boomerang? You get what I'm saying? Whereas like on a hero like Treant or Grimstroke, I might be like, yeah, their shards are super strong. I definitely want to go get them that shard. So if that's making sense, there's definitely, they're not balanced. Some are really good and some suck. But it doesn't really matter because it's inconsistent and you don't know who exactly is going to get the shard. It's just less attractive. Yeah.
Okay.
People don't want to drop what they're doing to go do it. But all right, let's have a look. We're at 28 minutes now. Let's look at our overview. So we talked a lot about Tormentor. So can you try and summarize what I was saying about it, just so I understand that you got it?
If you're in the area, like sure. If you ask and they're like, nah, just it's fine. It's not really a thing. It's just like fair enough. Like they don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And then like understand that they probably won't want to do it unless like they're there because like it's like unless they've all got like very important shards.
Exactly.
And then if that's the case, just buy it if it's like that like important, if that makes sense.
Shard is important for buy it. Yeah. That last one is a really big deal because if you wait to do the Tormentor, I mean, at minimum, you're waiting 5 minutes, which is a long time, right? And at maximum, your team may never do it, and then you never have the shard. So yeah, if the shard is part of your build, just buy it. Nothing wrong with that. What about it's easier to do it with certain heroes? Do you remember that bit?
Yeah, so if they have armor or like health regen or like sustain, it's easy to do.
And that's important because if it's easier to do, then it's less of a pain in the ass to go do it. So they're more likely to go do it, right? So like Enchantress would be a good hero to be doing that with because you have an AoE heal for your team that you make it not a pain in the ass to go do it. So if you're also aware of something like this is all of this is stuff you can communicate, right? You can be like, hey guys, let's go do Tormentor. I leveled up my E so I can heal us, no problem. Or hey, let's go do Tormentor. We have a Witch Doctor, so he can heal us. Or hey, Tormentor's super easy. We have this hero. If I don't know how much you talk on the mic, but that kind of stuff helps a lot. Like when you're communicating something to like give it supporting evidence and give your reasoning for like why it's you're thinking that.
Yeah.
Do you do that? Do you use your microphone a lot?
Sometimes, not often, but I do a bit.
What normally causes you to use it?
Like if I've typed it, or I can't it's like if there's a situation like a team fight and I really want to type thing and I can't type it, I'll say it, if that makes sense.
So if it's urgent, okay.
Or it's so that's normally that, or then if it's if I'm busy and it's a lot easier to type, I'll do it then, if that makes sense.
For sure. I would explore, but we'll put that in our next steps. Try using more, just specifically around objectives. Try talking to your team more about it. If hey, Tormentor's there, Roche is there, runes are coming up, we should push high ground. Whatever, if it's anything that involves the entire team, we should go do this. Start playing with using your microphone a lot more, because I'm gonna be honest, if I didn't have a microphone that I could use, I think I'd be 1,000 MMR lower than where I am. It's super integral to how I play, especially as a support player. You're also a support player, so communication is like obviously critical in a teamwork game, right?
Yeah.
By the way, I just realized I haven't been streaming in Discord this whole time, so you're watching in the stream, right? God
Yeah.
damn it, my bad, dude. All right.
No worries.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, it's super important. So, and it is a skill, and the more you practice it, the better it's going to be. I know some people get really shy; they don't want to talk. They're worried about people like flaming and stuff like that. But it's
Like a
you
lot of
know,
the time, like I'm fine. I'm like fine. Like I don't like mind talking, but like a lot of the time when they do, they're just like, "Oh, you're British. You're British." Like type on the mic and like just like not like reply or whatever. I just
really, they just flame
yeah,
you.
they're just like, "Oh, British, British." Like so it's like yeah.
It's probably harder playing in EU because you have a lot more different languages mixing together. So I can see that being
Or
an
like
issue.
they go like, "Can I have a cup of tea?" Like tea and biscuits, like literally all down the mic, like non-stop, and it's just
That's good. Is that every time you use the mic, they flame you for being
like
British?
9 times out of 10.
Really?
There's like 9 times out of 10.
Wow,
Like
that's funny. I mean, you do have a pretty
yeah,
thick accent, so I can understand it. But that's funny. Well, if that doesn't bother you too much, try and push past it. Use your mic more.
okay.
Or like if you can get really good at using pings and typing, like that's fine too. But like
Yeah,
honestly, using the mic's
I don't
better.
mind I don't mind using it.
Okay, okay, that's good. All right. Set that one. Let me see. Here. Yeah. Okay. Do you also understand like why the tormentor is like unattractive to go do?
Because it's random, and as a carry you could probably just farm instead of like and buy yours quicker than going over and getting your supports.
Reward is random, and what else? There's two other important reasons why people don't really like doing.
It's the location's bad of where it is. The armor doesn't go down anymore.
Well, that
Like
was a specific thing with Razor. Like that was like very specifically with him. He could solo it because of that. That's not why people don't do it. Like Enchantress used to be able to solo it by just hurricane piking and TPing to base and then four-shotting it.
I didn't know that one. I know Slardar could solo it as well.
Right. So it's not specifically the armor. What was the other big reason why people don't like doing it?
The location.
You got
It's
that?
like other side, and it does damage to you, like for a
Yeah.
lot of HP.
Right. Costs a lot of health. Right. Okay. And then also something to talk about as well is the whole split pushing thing. I think in the instance where you were pushing top, I think that was fine. So we'll say big improvement on split pushing, catching lanes. That was just really good. And I don't think you were missing. I wasn't paying terribly close attention, but I don't think you were missing a lot of important things while you were doing it. It looked just like good. So that's good. Just keep working on that and keep practicing. So we'll add that in. And do you want to have that be the focus for the next week as well?
Okay then. Yeah.
Focusing on empty lanes. It's not split pushing. It is literally like relieving lanes. You know what I mean? Because if you're split pushing, then you're just playing as a core. It's a fine line between the two. It's pretty much how many waves you grab that kind of defines it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
So I was normally like getting like 1 or 2 and then just going to wherever that someone else was, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and that's perfect, right? That's not being too greedy. That's good. So we'll keep focusing on that and see if more things come up. And so, yeah, keep doing that, and also try using your mic more and try coordinating objectives more. Specifically that, and just see how that works for the next week, and then we'll go from there. But if, yeah, that's it for me. Do you have any other questions about anything?
No, I think that it's for mainly now.
Okay, cool. All right, well, good job. I can see the improvement, and really nice job on the MMR jump. That's a big jump.
Thank you.
Good job, man. Guardian 3, woohoo.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Cool. All right, dude. Well, good stuff. I will see you next time then.
No problem. Thank you again.
All right, dude. Good job. See you later.
Right. Bye.
Bye. All right, guys, if that was helpful, don't forget to check out the playlist at the end of the video. I have other Dota coaching videos here. These are all part of a series. We do this every week. And don't forget to check me out on Twitch. I stream every weekday. My name's Mr. TV on Twitch. And I usually do like 2:30 p.m. PST till about 7 p.m. And these are normally recorded live on Twitch. So if you want to come check these out, you can do that there. And also, if you're interested in getting coached by me, I have a Patreon set up, and you can go there and sign up for it. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.